this computer. Oh, it didn't kick them out. I think something was going on crazy the last time. All right. So we just kind of went through that with the Patti LaBelle and went through all of that. That was really good. I should have recorded. If I didn't know it wasn't going to kick us out, I would have recorded it. But I just want to know, LaToya, do you have anything that you would like to add?
No, just in general, hey, go for everything. And worst case scenario, look, you ain't putting no money down right now. And with a lot of cruises in general, you don't have to put money down. And usually it will literally fall off. They give you a set date, like, hey, if you don't have commission in by this date, or don't have something booked or reserved by this date, then that's when you'll have it'll end up, majority of cruises, it'll just fall off. They have a set date, it's gonna fall off. So if they give you 100 rooms, okay. If they got a date that's gonna fall off and you're not gonna be charged, that's fine. Hotel rooms, now that's a different story. Now those usually have, okay, if you want to reserve so many rooms, you have to sometimes put a deposit if you're doing 100 rooms or 50 rooms, or a set amount of rooms. But with cruises, a lot of times it's safe in that standpoint, because it will fall off. And usually they'll say, okay, you need to have this set deposit, and then really Patti LaBelle is gonna market itself.
Yeah, that name by itself is gonna market itself. You ain't got to do a thing else.
So don't even feel scared about it. You can tell your friends, family, and guess what? Put it on your Facebook page. Put it on wherever you know anybody. Guess what? I already have a plan. Okay, let me get in some of these Patti LaBelle groups. Hey, guess what? Now I can advertise in that group.
Oh wow, I didn't even thought of that, girl. You be on it, don't you? Did y'all hear what she just said? Say that again and quit talking so fast.
I said, for any of these cruises, you can just advertise it in certain types of groups. For example, if I want to do a Patti LaBelle one, I will go into the Patti LaBelle group. I'll become Facebook friends with whoever that's in there, join that group, and guess what? Now I'm gonna advertise the Patti LaBelle. I'm gonna advertise the other dude. I don't even know who he is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go into one of his groups and advertise it. So whatever tickets or whatever rooms that they're gonna give me, I'm gonna sell all of them. So, and the thing is, this is only going to open your door up for other clients. So just remember that.
That is true. And if y'all wonder why I ask her and Delmisha things, because they book a lot of travel. And so I want to make sure that you guys are hearing it from people who book all the time, because they're doing this, more so than I am. I dabble here and there. But as far as booking, I am mostly building a team and helping people like Marva get started and have a business. So that's more of my focus. So yeah, definitely, guys. Yeah, and so Marva, you'll get used to us. We funny over here. You see, I just told her to slow down, because she be talking fast. She can't help it. She talk fast like that all the time. Okay. So any other questions? Any other concerns? Any questions? Any concerns? Any questions? Yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. Okay, then what I'm going to do is, excuse me.
Before you go to the next topic,
okay, go ahead.
I would like to say for everybody that's in here, to no matter what, go and get registered for Vacation Express, Delta Vacation, and American Vacation, because it sometimes takes a couple of days, and you can do 90% of trips with just those three.
Put those in the chat so that people can go back and write them down. Delmisha or somebody knows what she just said. Excuse me. And that's definitely for the new people. But if you are somebody who hasn't done a lot of partnering, you want to make sure that if you have not watched the onboarding video, it talks about how to partner with travel partners. Those are the three she's recommending, because you can just about get started with your travel bookings just with those three. You will actually get access to Vax Vacation Access, which is like a big travel mall. And they've got all different suppliers. They got Apple Vacations. They got an exclusive luxury one. They got
now, that one you can't do till 60 days, but Vacation Express does all the Caribbean stuff.
Did y'all hear that?
So Vacation Express and Delta Vacation, make sure you go into IntelliTravel back office and go click help at the top. And then it's going to say to travel suppliers, Click on that, request Delta vacation, push submit, then request Vacation Express, push submit. Because lately we have so many new agents coming in. Sometimes it's actually taking like a week for people to get their actual access. When beforehand, you used to get Vacation Express the same day. So that's why I try to encourage everybody to get those 3. Now, American Vacation, you can see that in the package section in your IntelliTravel back office. It's the first one. Once you pick package, it's the first one that says American Vacations, and you can click that out. Click on that and you can register for it. And remember, anytime you see Agent C, they want IntelliTravel information. Anytime it says agent, they want your information.
Everybody get that? And the thing is, as she said, with Vax Vacation Access, it's a big travel mall. And you cannot get access to Vax Vacation Access until you've been in the business for 60 days. That's 2 months. And you have completed IntelliTravel University. So just know that. But until then, you can use these 3. And the ambassadors recommend these 3. And so she's telling you the same thing that the ambassadors recommend for your, excuse me, for getting started with your bookings and things like that. There is even a video that I have on Life Changers that Cindy Bergman had invited me when I hit 1-star director to come and do a testimonial, but there was also a training, and I asked her, could I have that training? Because it was on how it showed you how to book with American Vacations. American Airlines, isn't it? Yeah, American Airlines Vacation. And it actually was a step-by-step. The young lady, it was an ambassador that did your training. And so you can actually watch that. Delmitia's putting in sign into your back office, click on help, and then register for travel suppliers. And that's where you will find it at. So for anyone who wonders about that, there's a lot to learn, y'all. And the good thing is that you can learn at your own pace. Someone commented to me today and said, I just have so much going on that my business is moving a little slow. I said, the great thing is that you can move slow or you can move fast, but it's at your own pace. And that's the great thing about this. You don't have any quotas to meet. You don't have any time limits to meet. It's all on your time as you can work it into your schedule. So that's what's great about this. You have your own business and you can do what you need to do. Okay, so we're going to go over, and what I'm going to show at this time is, hold on, let me do this real quick. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our second part, which is I just want to show a short video from Planet Marketing. And the Planet Marketing video that I'm showing, this particular video is what everybody needs to learn, okay? And that's how to do the PS3. So we're going to watch a short video on how you should be doing the PS3. That's pique interest, show the plan, and do a 3-way call. If you're brand new, if you're new at all, and you haven't done a 3-way call, or you don't know what the PS3 is, you definitely want to watch this, okay? So let me pull up my share screen again, and let's go back to, no, I don't want to go there. Let's go back to where we were, and I should be able to, yeah, I can, okay. Let's go back over to, okay. Go over to our, and we've got, we're going to go down to information, information center, and we're going to come down to library. Okay, and we're going to go down here and we're going to watch. I tried to play this and it didn't play on my mobile app. I'm gonna try it again. Anyway, never mind that. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, how do I pique interest? Show the plan, the 3-way call. So we'll do one of these each week, but let's start off with the new people because they want to know, what do I say? How do I pique interest? So let's just kind of start with this. They're about 20 minutes long, so we won't be able to play but one of them this evening. But actually this one is 40. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and play into this, and how do I pique interest?
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. I'm going to take a few minutes before we get started to say hello to some people that are already on. Good evening. It's Alabama, Sandy, Planet Marketing, and I want to bring up my brothers in success that are going to help me. Clarksville, Tennessee. Great evening. Great evening. Yvette Gorell, Planet Marketing, and I want to bring up my brothers in success that are going to help me unpack this amazing information. The first gentleman I'm going to bring up, he is the #2 income earner in all of Planet Marketing. He is a 6-star director, which means he has a team of well over 10,000 families. He dons that diamond ring, signifying earnings of over $500,000 in a 12-month calendar period residually. He is a founding director. He has a heart of gold. We call him the General. Do we have Director Orlando Moore out there with us this evening? Director Moore?
Absolutely, Ms. Ross. I am out here. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear and see you loud and clear. You look very dapper this evening. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I want to bring up our other brother in success. You all know him, you love him. He is the #1 income earner in all of Planet Marketing. He has led the charge from day one, being a founding director, but being the first of every level that there is to achieve in Planet Marketing. He is a 6-star director, wearing a double diamond ring, signifying earnings of a minimum of $83,333 a month. We call him Mr. Fantastic, Fabulous, and Amazing. Our brother in success, Mr. Shedrick White. Do I have you out there as well?
Miss Eileen Ross, I'm here in Canada for you. Look amazing. Mr. Orlando Moore, you look amazing. Welcome to the planet.
Welcome, welcome. We're going to jump right in, gentlemen, to talk about a very powerful topic. We talked about getting started last week, but what do we find that is the most challenging for people getting into this industry, particularly if you're new to network marketing? There's something that we all need to get better at, and that is, how do we pique interest? Mr. Moore, Mr. White, well, we'll start with Mr. Moore. Talk about that. Why is this topic so important for people just getting started, as well as people that have been in the business for quite some time?
Well, Ms. Ross, this is the first step when you talk about the proven success system, of course, that we have here in Planet Marketing called the PS3. The first step is to pique interest. So if you get that down pat, the rest of it is really smooth sailing, because this is a business that you earn while you learn. And it's a skill set that you must develop, because you got to get good at piquing interest. And that's the very first thing that all of us must really get good at, Ms. Ross. Piquing interest, very first thing we got to do. And it's a skill set, and everybody can develop it. That's what's powerful.
Absolutely. Mr. White?
Well, Ms. Ross, I agree with Mr. Moore. When a person gets started, they join the business, they purchase the business, and they're excited, but they have this anxiety. Although they join, now what do I say to people? You know, I have friends, I have people that I know, and we're saying go get people, but I don't know what to say. And so they're looking for how not to make that phone weigh 1,000 pounds, how to have a confidence. And so piquing interest, as Mr. Moore said, is a skill that can be learned. But once they get this down, then the rest of it, I agree with him, is smooth sailing, because this is the first step. But once you get past the first step, then the rest comes right in order, Ms. Ross.
Wonderful. Let's just jump right in. Now, we're going to talk about sharing your business effectively, but let's first define what pique means. To pique someone's interest is to arouse, stimulate, or excite them by sharing something. And what do we have to share in this great business model? Let's talk about our product first and foremost. We sell travel, and guess what? Everyone loves to travel. Travel is still being talked about right now because people are looking for places to go. How many people do you know that would love to go to Walt Disney World, or they go all the time every year? Wouldn't it be nice to know that as a partner, they now have access to Disney in a different way? What about becoming a travelpreneur? What's a travelpreneur? See the world, make money, and do what you love all at the same time. That sounds like the ideal profession. So what else can you do in this business? You can also make supplemental income by booking travel for other people. Save a lot of money by booking your own travel and earning a commission, or getting a travel agent rate. But it's because of that responsible partnership. But also in our business model, you get a chance to empower people with the #1 industry in the world. That means you have a travel business, but you're also in the business of travel. So it's very, very important to understand you have so many different avenues. You have so many different to share with people, but you got to understand what they're looking for. And, you know, Bill Brent came up with a very powerful formula for success. And he says the share always comes before the sale. You know, your overall goal is to share information and then collect a decision, right? Bill Brent says, I simply showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 of those people, oh, something happened. 900 of those people said no. And only, let me take a look because it's locked. And only 300 signed up. Out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. Out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made me a millionaire. Mr. Moore, can you talk about that? People think you need everybody. You don't need everyone. You need the right ones. Is that not correct?
That's absolutely correct, Ms. Ross. And I always tell people, you don't have to talk to everybody in the whole world. Just talk to everybody in your world. And people miss that concept, Ms. Ross. They think you got to go out there and talk to it. No, relax. You already have the relationship with people. And Ms. Ross, that's the other point I really wanted to make in regards to piquing interest. You talked about the definition of it. Well, what goes along with that, you have to know that person. How do I know what excites you? How do I know how to stimulate you, right? How do I know what to share with you if I don't have that rapport built? So building rapport is part of the piquing interest. And then, Ms. Ross, as I stated, you don't have to talk to everybody in the whole world. Just talk to everybody in your world. And that's exactly where you start, by simply sharing information. Ms. Ross?
Awesome. Director Shedrick White, being the professional decision collector. That's another thing. Yet Mr. Moore talked about, you know, talk to people in your world, got to build that rapport. But the decision collector, that's a very important part of this as well.
Ms. Ross, I agree 1,000%. You know, many people know I came out of the restaurant industry, so I often like to use an analogy where the waitress goes around and they ask the customer, would you care for coffee? And there are people who love coffee and there are people who don't want coffee, but she's not attached to the outcome, Ms. Ross. You know, a lot of times I think what happens is people get attached to the person saying yes or no, so they won't share anything. They want it to be perfect. And if they begin to understand, don't get attached to the no, you got to work the numbers, but not treat people like numbers, Ms. Ross, then they can be liberated and they can really see their business grow. So I love what Mr. Moore just said. You don't have to talk to everybody in the world, but everybody in your world. And this is just simply showing you got to be able to share before you can actually get them in business. Nobody's just going to walk up to you and say, you look traveling. Nobody's just going to walk up to you and say, did you purchase a business? No, you got to tell people, you got to share it. And then if they're interested, great. If they're not, great. But you'll never know unless you share it, Ms. Ross.
Never know unless you share. Now, let's talk about what you are sharing, right? I'm going to put all these up on the screen. And Mr. Moore, I want you to, you're really good about, you talk about building rapport. So these are some of the things that we've got to embrace first. We've got to remember why we got in the business, right? And that builds our posture and it helps us identify what other people can get from this business. Mr. Moore, can you tackle this particular aspect of sharing?
Ms. Ross, you see, I had to put my eyes on, right? And the fact is, Ms. Ross, honestly, that's really what makes it powerful and simple for people. And I oftentimes state that if you're looking for a complex formula, you're going to miss this. See, people think, I got to think of something, I got to be scripted. No, what was it for you? Why did you get started? Why did you join? What got you excited? What made you motivated? What inspired you? What did you hear? What did you see that piqued your interest? And those are the things that you should share. It's basically telling your story. What was it for you? Because chances are, the people that you have the relationship with, guess what, guys? They are like you. They are like-minded, chances are. So when you share your excitement, what was it for you, why you got started, man, I saw this, I saw that, and now you pouring that and sharing it with people that you have the rapport built with, people don't want to be left out. And we got to fully understand that. I call it the fear of loss. So when you sharing from your excitement, your enthusiasm, man, I found a way to win. I can't let you miss this. And that's why I use that as one of my favorite phrases, because I made it about the person. And subliminally, I sent them a message and said, I'm not missing it. That's part of what I share, Ms. Ross, when I'm talking about why I got started. I always use that phrase. And listen, Mr. White, I found a way to win for my family. I found a way to earn some additional cash flow in my household. And listen, man, I can't let you miss this. See, that's my excitement, but also brought it to him, right? And subconsciously, he thinking, well, I don't want to miss it because of my enthusiasm, my excitement, not just what I shared, but how I shared it. Ms. Ross?
Right, Mr. Moore, you're exactly right. And really, what are you sharing? Why did you get started with this business? Why did you join? When you start writing down the answers to these questions, it helps you to understand, first of all, remember why you got started, but also be able to relate to other people. Why did you join? What was it about it? What got you excited about the presentation or the information that you saw? What is your end zone? What do you plan? What is your goal with this business? What do you love about Planet Marketing? What do you love about IntelliTravel? Think about those things, because when you said in that meeting or that webinar or that travel showcase, you fell in love. What do you love about the culture of our business? What are your feelings about our trainings, our support that we provide? Do you see the value of how much it costs for your business, as well as the compensation plan? And Mr. White, I really want you to talk about some of these things that are really powerful tools or powerful takeaways, and just anywhere else have anything like the Planet Pledge. Mr. White, there are so many things that you love about what we talked about that you can share and pull from other people.
Absolutely, Ms. Ross. And one of the things that Mr. Moore said, and I want to jump to this, but he said something so key. He said it's your excitement, it's your enthusiasm. And when people get started, they should be excited, right? But it's really not the words you say, it's the music you play. And see, if you're excited, people will turn you up. But if you're dull because you're fearful and, oh my goodness, what am I going to say? People are going to tune you out. And so again, Ms. Ross, when you think about it, why did you join? There was something that you saw, as he touched on. Why did you join? That's what you share with people. Don't try to over sensationalize. Don't try to, what I got to make up this. No, just tell why you got excited, as you said. And when you look at that end zone, you got to figure out why do you believe this business can help them? And when you keep it natural, when you talk to your friends, people that you know about why you got started, why it benefited you, and you just let them know, hey, I think this is something that can help you. I'm not sure, but I think this is something that can really make a difference in your life. I think that people will be open to hearing what you got to say, but I do want to make this point. It's really not the words you say, it's the music you play. If you try to be analytical and you're trying to figure out what's the right words to say, you're going to miss it because you're going to overthink it. But if you're excited, if you catch on fire, people won't come from miles around and watch you burn, Ms. Ross.
And I think that the most powerful thing that both of you said was the people that you know. Mr. White, Mr. Moore, we already know the hot buttons. We already know the needs of the people that we know. And we try to think of all the other things that we should say other than the things that will appeal to that person. If I have a friend and I know that she's been looking for a part-time job because she wants some extra income to her home, but I sit here thinking, maybe I should tell her about how many cruises you can go on in a year. Maybe I should, no, she needs to know about income. And what did Mr. Bradley say? When he first got started in this business, before he got started, the first person that shared business with him had a lei around her neck and was talking about travel to Hawaii. And he says, I was in between blessings. I couldn't travel. But the second person that introduced him to the travel industry said, Mr. Bradley, I know that you love to travel. You should think about owning this travel business. He appealed to, he knew what to share based on the needs of the person that he was talking to, his friend. So let's go on. Now, who are you going to share with? Mr. Moore, can you come on and talk about why it's important to know who to share with?
Absolutely, Ms. Ross. And again, when you talk about who are you sharing it with, every single one of you out there tonight, every Planet Marketing representative, you should have a list. Let's start there. You should have a list. And if you haven't made a list, start tonight writing your list, because you have plenty of time to do so, number one. Go ahead and start making your list. Very important. And I'll be transparent with you, Ms. Ross. When I first got started, I didn't make a list initially. Number one, I didn't know to. Nobody told me. But when I heard people talking about making a list, I said, you know what? I know who I want to share it with. I know who I want to talk to. Guys, I promise you, your memory will not last longer than the paper and the ink. I promise you that. Here's the other thing that happened for me, Ms. Ross, when I realized what writing the list really meant. Because there was another dimension of what I saw when I talked about making the list. Because in this business, your list is really your foundation. So if you're building a business, you need a foundation. Your list is the foundation, because people are the resources. And the other thing that came to me, Ms. Ross, as I was writing the list, I read somewhere that I was actually writing a vision and I was making it plain. And see, when I began to write that list, I saw people as builders, not just as people. So when you're making that list, guys, you want to make sure you're talking to putting everybody on the list. Don't make a decision for the people that you put on the list. Put them all on the list. Now, Ms. Ross, that's very important, because we automatically think, well, Ms. Ross, she owned a preschool. She wouldn't want to know anything about this. And they leave you off the list. Orlando Moore, he retired military, 22 years, he wouldn't want to know anything about this. And then make a decision for me without allowing me to make my own decision. So who you're sharing it with, very important. Make the list and don't leave anybody off the list. Ms. Ross?
Wonderful, you're absolutely right. Mr. White, your thoughts about who are you going to share with and how?
This is really critical, and as Mr. Moore said, he really touched on it. You're really going to jog your memory because I read a study that said the average 25-year-old knows over 1,000 people over the course of their lifetime. And so it's so important, but most times what people do is they prejudge. They make a decision for the people of who's going to join and who's not going to join. And I always tell people, if you think about a microwave, a bag of popcorn, if the manufacturers knew which ones weren't going to pop, they wouldn't put them in. And so it goes to this point. The ones you think will, won't, but the ones who you think won't, will. So it's really important that you write down everybody you know, and there's memory joggers that ask you questions, and that's designed to help you think about who you know. But once you think about the people you know, think about who you know in common. And once you think about the people that you know, think about the different organizations you're a part of, right? If you just really take time, not just who's your immediate circle, but go back and start thinking and rekindle those relationships, Ms. Ross. And then once you begin to share, as you said, this business with them, Ms. Ross, the relationships, again, they want to know exactly what you're up to. So again, the memory jogger is going to be key, and you want to make a list and share with everybody you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to reiterate, you've got to create that list. And who do you put on the list? Everyone from your phone, your emails, friend, and you're going to contact your friends, your family, coworkers, neighbors, everyone. We talked about the memory jogger, social media. A lot of people have a social media group of friends. Some you know, some you don't know. And I find that a lot of people that are friends of mine, sometimes friends of mine, I don't know them, but they're interested in hearing about my business. But what do I need to do? Responsibly share the information with them. There's warm market and there's cold market. Warm market are the people that you know. Cold market are the people that you don't know, right? And so we like to say, go to talk to the people that you know first before you go to the stranger danger, before you can start talking to people that you don't know. People are involved with groups. And again, it's great to promote your business. We have an e-commerce business, but guess what? Relationship is the new currency. So start with those relationships you have and then branch off or do simultaneously both, right? Let's keep moving on. Next is, how are you sharing, right? And Mr. White, I want to bring you back up for this because you talked about something. You talked about your excitement, right? What should you be, how should you be sharing the information? What things should you really be focused on as you present your information?
Well, Ms. Ross, again, when I talk about excitement, when you think about your future, it should be exciting. You may not be there yet, but you should definitely be excited, and your tonality should speak as such. You know, you got to have anticipation in your voice, but when you talk to your friends, be natural. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to sound like you're phony, you're fake, you sound like somebody else. You start calling by their last name, Ms. Ross. We're friends, but I'm calling you and says, hey, Eileen, you know what I'm saying, Ms. Ross. See, that'll put a red flag up. Now you're concerned. But the biggest thing, what you used to tell us is you got to slide the truth. You know, how did you get started? You know, and so I always tell people, think about it this way. If you actually was skeptical, but you went to tell the person no, tell your friend and say, look, I normally, I had a rule of no, I don't do those things. But when I went to the presentation to tell them no, it just made sense. And again, you know, I'm the type of person, I'm not going to try to get people something I don't believe in. But again, I don't know if this for you or not, but I just want you to take a look. I see the thing, Ms. Ross, if you're sincere, if you're authentic, then people will listen to you. But if you try to be phony and be slick and come with all these isms and so forth, trying to be like something you think, that's when you're going to be frustrated because you can say it's not working. No, it's not. It is working, but people don't want phony. They want authentic. Ms. Ross.
Mr. Moore, what do you say? How should you say it?
Ms. Ross, I love this. I love this. Mr. White nailed it. Again, you got to be authentic with people. And again, be yourself, guys. Be natural. And the fact is, Ms. Ross, when you're talking about sharing information with people that you know, I want to kind of handle what a lot of people, what I consider an objection, right, in this part of the pique interest. See, the fact is, the people that you have a relationship with, you should have enough friend equity already built up that they owe you 30 minutes. And we got to think about that. Now, what kind of relationship do you really have? That's the other thing I learned about this industry. It'll really reveal the type of relationship you have. So if you don't have enough friend equity built up, then you got to keep working on that rapport. But every single person, Ms. Ross, that I'm friends with, guess what? You owe me 30 minutes. And what do I say to them? Hey, listen, I'm launching the biggest business project of my career. I need your support. I need you to take a look at what I'm doing because I don't want you to miss out on what's taking place right now. I'm piquing that interest. That's it. And if we got that relationship, Ms. Ross, and you don't give me 30 minutes, okay. See, I see now where to meet you. That's called an abusive relationship, period. And that's how I approach, and I got everybody's different, Ms. Ross, but if people really not be afraid of losing the relationship, now you don't have to be my friend to be in the business, but as my friend, you need to take a look at my business, if we call ourselves friends. Ms. Ross?
I love it. I love it. Again, be yourself. Think only of your prospect and how will the business benefit them. See, too often we don't talk about how the business will help them. We're talking about we need one more person to be a goal builder, right? I need to know you're talking to me about something you want me to look at. Tell me why I would want to, right? And then again, as Mr. White and Mr. Moore said, tell the truth. Tell the truth about your business model. Please don't go out and say that you should join my business because you can fly from Atlanta to Paris for $20 to become a travel professional. Tell the truth. Share the actual information about the business. Be authentic. People hear how you feel before they hear what you say.
Okay, now that, and I probably shouldn't have closed that just yet because I'm going to show y'all where to find that. I'm stopping it because I don't like to keep y'all over an hour. But let me go back to that screen. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back to my Planet Marketing site.
Director.
Yes.
What's funny is I listened to this on my drive to Louisville.
Awesome. So see there, now you know that's what you're supposed to be listening to, huh?
That's right.
Okay, so young ladies, here's where you find it. You go hover over virtual office. Everybody can see my screen, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we hover over virtual office, come down to information center. And as you see, you'll get another drop down. Come over here and come down to library. So hover over virtual office, hover over information center. If y'all taking notes, hover over information center and then hover over library. When you hover over library, that's where you're going to click at and it will bring you to the library page, which has all these different things on it. Planet weekly audio calls and all those different things. Basic training, international locker room call, and also the Father's Day. The Father's Day edition that they did, they recorded it. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to be sharing that. And then down here, it's already on training videos. So as you see, how do I pique interest? And if you want to get ahead of the game, watch this one, then go ahead and watch this one, show the plan, and then go ahead and watch this one, the three-way call. This is the PS3. That's how we build our business, through the PS3, okay? All right. So that is something that is in your Planet Marketing back office, all right? And if anybody is excited or wants to know what Eagle Weekend or how Eagle Weekend went, Eagle Weekend, they actually have all the photos and videos right here. I mean, all of them. So you just sit there and be ready to sit there and look for a while. But I clicked on Planet Now. So I'll go back and you see right here where it says virtual office, Planet Now. Click on Planet Now. It will take you to our Planet blog. And this is the Planet Marketing blog. And these are the different things that are here in the Planet Marketing blog. Okay. All right. That's it. And so I am going to, let me see if what this is in the chat. Oh, Marva, good, Marva. Marva said she listened to this earlier. Awesome. See, y'all on the right track. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all trying to figure out how to get this thing done. That's how you do it. And then Marva, now the next one you can listen to would be Show the Plan. And then the next one after that, of course, you saw them in the order. So definitely watch those. Those are good. I'm glad you watched that. That's good for you. Yeah, that'll help you throughout your prospecting. All right, ladies. I'm going to go ahead, stop the share. Wanted to make sure everybody knew where to finish watching that because I did stop it because we're right at 10:05. So we're gonna go ahead and let everybody go. Want to thank you all for coming for training. Tell the others what they're missing. Put it in the chat. Y'all should be at training. Y'all missing stuff because they are missing some good training. We actually went over all of that. Patty LaBelle, that was really good. I didn't record it because I was scared I would boot you out, Tamika. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and record it. I'm going to have to record something. And when I recorded it, it didn't boot you out. I said, well, I'd be dog. I could have recorded that whole thing. So anyway, we're going to stop recording now.